It's so
is
loud.
it doing it still?
Stop.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything anymore.
It's really
shit.
loud. Oh, you fucked up here, bro. Oh, dude. Get yourself a new mic, my man.
Okay.
Okay, that is better.
As long as I don't touch it or breathe, it should.
Does
be
this
okay.
happen when you're streaming as well?
Yeah, and like you just get a lot of people in the chat being like, "Ah, my ears."
Oh, dude.
It's
Come on.
fine.
You got a new computer. You got to get the new setup. You got to get yourself a new fancy mic, man.
I'm waiting for Black Friday, which is only.
Oh,
a
that's
month away.
fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. You got to be money savvy. I like it. I respect it.
Yeah, and like I'm also waiting until I have a job lockdown, which is
Yes.
now on the agenda because the place that I worked before is now reopening, and I don't want to go back. So I'm
Yeah,
getting a new
fuck
job.
that. Good lad. Well, you've already making some headway with that, so I think you'll be fine. You'll get it.
Yeah, that's actually the first thing I wanted to say was I did my first proper job interview in about 7 years.
Oh,
there
fuck.
last week.
They are
yeah.
awful. I don't envy you. How'd you get on?
That's one thing that I've always like. I always think about it afterwards. I'm like, why was I so fucking worried and why was I so scared?
Yeah, right.
Because, in fairness, like I haven't done a fucking. I've only done interviews for bars and stuff, which is very lax. It's very chill.
Yeah, of course.
So the one I did was with two people. It was like the assistant manager and then a bar manager. But it wasn't even for a bar spot. It was for like a hosting job.
Oh, nice
and
one.
The bar manager was there as well because he was like, I just want to know, are you willing to do some bar shifts if we need it? I'm like, absolutely. And he's like, yeah, we see you have a lot of experience. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
sweet,
great
absolutely, I'd love it. And we ended up just chatting for like 25 minutes. And I was like, I got out and I was like, Jesus, that was really fucking long. Like usually interviews shouldn't be any longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, really? Holy shit. Okay.
I think, yeah, I feel like the ideal interview should be 10 minutes and then you're good to go. But like,
Man,
obviously, if you get on with someone, you can chat to them for a long time.
yeah. I've done some horrible interviews. I once did an hour and a half interview where where would you fucking believe the first half an hour was them giving me a presentation about their company, and I was sitting there and I was like, what the fuck? Why am I here? I don't need to know. I don't have the job yet. Tell me this garbage when you've given me the fucking job. But like, and then after that, it was just, oh, it was so bad. And this was like, I took it during my lunch break, which was supposed to be an hour, but I could hardly tell the guys, hey, fuck, I have to fucking head back to work here, you know?
Yeah,
Oof.
and you couldn't tell your jobs like, oh, I'm at a job interview. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It was awful. And then the fuckers, they didn't get back to me for like 3 months later when I had already got a new job, and they got back to me via email just to tell me that I didn't get it.
3 months later.
Yeah.
That sounds like you said like the first half hour of it is them giving you a presentation with the job. So it's just sort of like telling you what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
And then did they like quiz you on it at all afterwards? That'd be kind of
Not
fun.
at all. No, it was really weird. They were just like, these are our company values, and when you join us, here are some mental health services you can join, which is always a bad fucking sign. Like if a company is telling you, hey, we have stuff for, you know, your brain because, you know, fucking Johnny
job fucks you up.
game-ended himself a while ago and now we have to do this.
You know, like
That's not
they've
good.
had experience with it. That's not a good sign that if they feel like, okay, no, it's actually gotten to a stage now, we have to put it in the interview process.
We have to actually put it in the interview process before we even hire anyone. Like that's
awful.
bad, man. Yeah.
Was that a similar job to what you actually got in the end, like a lab job?
It was the same industry, but not the same kind of position.
Okay, fair enough. You
Yeah.
know, it was fucking nerve wracking as hell going into my first interview. Like I did one over the lockdown, but it was like a FaceTime call, and it was for like.
They're fine.
It was just for.
I can
like
do them, no bother.
What do you call it? Like a Centra or something? I think it was. For
Yeah, like corner
some
shop
easy-
something.
Yeah, like a grocery corner shop convenient thing.
Mm-hmm.
First in person one, but it's kind of like a hipstery place, so it was actually fine because the people interviewing me were not much older than I am, so it's fine.
Oh, that's always good. Like, I'm so sick. Like, when I was job hunting to come here, I just got so fed up with being interviewed by, like, old men in suits. Like, I was so fucking done. And then being just, like just basically shit-talking me while I'm at the interview. And I'm like, bro, I looked you up before this. I'm actually better qualified than you prick.
So... Thankfully, I've never had to do that where like I'm sitting in an office with like someone in a suit, proper interview type style, which is probably just down to the job I went for.
Exactly. The
closest thing I had was like I interviewed for a catering company that were hiring waiters, but like this catering company classes themselves as like as good as a 5-star hotel. Service,
right? Okay.
Even though they don't have 5 stars,
they just don't. They're just like we like the etiquette of it and everything, but we're like pushing 2, you know.
They provide 5-star service without actually having the 5 stars, basically.
I get you. And
they're very much like a mass. It's like a mass interviewing and a mass hiring. Day.
Get you.
So like, you go into a stadium.
Oh my god! People Jesus,
going up to like tables that are spotted all over the place, and there's like so many people interviewing.
Horrible.
It was awful.
That is so fucking dystopian, man. It's like people fighting each other to get this. Oh, that's horrible.
It was pretty bad. I ended up getting it though, but I hated the job.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I feel like, obviously I'm not speaking for everyone, but I feel like in a place that which covers such a large place to work, and there's so many people.
Yeah.
That the management don't look at you as a human being. They look
at
you
are not a person. You are a fucking
an employee.
You're property at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, that's always dark.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going in to do a wee trial then. So this should be fun.
Yeah, fair play. Good on you.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time next week I'll be back fucking full time working. Because basically now it's just I need something to pay the rent. So
yeah, fair play.
But
you're getting there. You can do it. I believe in you.
Although, without going into the specifics and details, the place that I used to work has changed themselves drastically by the sounds.
Really? Like for better or worse?
Way better.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I won't go into the specifics. I'll tell you after if you're interested.
I would be interested, but yes, go on.
It seems like a great place to start working now.
Nice.
If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, cool. I am interested. You've piqued my interest.
So obviously you know how much I hated that job. Towards the end anyway.
Yeah, I was wondering whether you were going to go disliked, or is he going to go full on and say you hated it?
Yeah, well, I hated it for the fact that it ran me into the ground so much. And
totally.
It just destroyed me as a human being.
Yeah, man.
But
I get it.
From hearing about it from Gabby, it's crossed my mind to go back, and I'm not going to.
Oh, dude!
But that's some of the changes that they've made that I'm just like, damn! Like it sounds like a much nicer place to work now. But
bro, this is no, don't do it. This is like breaking up with your ex, and she gets with a new guy, and now she's like, "Oh, I'm so much better," and you're like, "Oh fuck, maybe I could go." No, don't do it. Just don't do it. Stay away. Stay away. She's toxic. She's horrible. Always will be.
Although a friend of mine who also quit the same time I did has said that if I did ever go back, he would go in and drag me out of the place himself, physically. Yeah. Like, I know what I did to you. I'll pull you out of there myself if you end up going back. I was like, okay,
don't do it.
Cool. Sounds like a deal.
You should make a blood pact with that guy.
Right, I have the third riddle, if you would like.
Oh, I don't have any paper. I'll just try to remember it.
Yeah, you'll remember it, or like, your computer probably fucks up if you try and open something to type it out.
Yeah, maybe. I'll just try to remember it, and then I'll just ask you and annoy you a bunch of times. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's simpler language than the last two, I think.
Okay.
But it is a bit mindfucky, so good luck.
I'm ready.
And here we go. We represent different things, but together tell you the same thing. Lap after lap, around and around. Sometimes we stop, but you help us continue. It's very Big brain.
Big brain. Okay. Again,
need to think.
Just like the last one, nothing is coming to mind. My brain is shooting blanks here. Fuck.
I'm gonna go again.
Is there? Do you have a typed out by any chance?
No, but I could type it out real quick.
Yeah.
You're just gonna hear me mashing this now.
That's okay.
Want to throw it into the Discord?
Into the Discord. Yeah, we'll cut all this. This is fine.
Okay. All right. That should have sent the way I wanted it to send.
I'll have a little
Line
look see. Okay. And bang, we're back in. We represent different things, but together tell you the same thing. Lap after lap, around and around. Sometimes we stop, but you help us continue. Ooh, this is beautiful. This is like something that I would have read in like a poetry book in school or some shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a poem up until the last line, because the last line kind of fucks it then.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that. I was just like, where the fuck did the last line come from?
I needed that in to kind of
to make sense,
help you understand the second last line. That's all it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have that open in front of me throughout this, and hopefully, by pure fucking osmosis, my brain will get what this is.
Hope. It is.
I doubt it though.
I don't know.
I haven't got any of these so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it in terms of the other two, how hard it is, but I think it's pretty difficult. It's a very specific thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Right. The line that's jumping out at me the most is lap after lap, around and around. That's just like, I think it's probably just because today Anna's been listening to records and I'm thinking something spinning around like that, but it's probably not.
Okay. You're on the right track of thinking.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a record.
Like is it music or something intangible like that?
So something you said in that last sentence ties into it.
What
it could be that it's spinning around and around. It could be the record. It could be music. I'm not.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I've hit something there.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll let my brain marinate in that and see where we get.
I should have. I'm just thinking. Oh fuck! I felt like I put some other information in there, but I didn't, which would have made it a bit easier. But too late. It's too bad. You have to struggle through it.
This I'll just struggle through. I'll plow through it. We'll be fine.
Alrighty, what was this dude's name? Aleister something?
Yeah, so I kind of want to tell you about a strange character from history called Aleister Crowley. And this kind of ties into some of the stuff that we've been talking with the last few podcasts. Like we started with black metal and that went into Satanism and all that kind of shit. And then in the previous one we were talking about reincarnation, and that kind of moved its way onto cults and such. And then just I started listening to black metal music again just to kind of relive my youth. And
nice, just to hate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, man. And I started I rediscovered this song that I really, really like by a band called Behemoth. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them, yeah.
So they're a Polish black metal band. They're more recent than the other lads. They started at about like 97 or something, so they missed that whole crazy time. But they have a song off one of their most recent albums. I think it came out in like 2016 or something. And the song is called Barzibel. And
Barzibel.
Yeah, and the whole song is basically verbatim. All the lyrics are taken from this incantation to summon the demon known as Barzibel. That was written by this character called Aleister Crowley.
Okay.
And yeah, the lyrics are just really, really cool. They're sang as though it was like a ritual summoning at a mass or something. It's very, very cool. I would recommend anyone to
chant almost.
Yeah, it's really good. I'd recommend anyone to listen to it. But
God damn it. I have a fucking thing on my soundboard and it's literally called Cultist Chant, and it would have been perfect for right now.
Fuck, just add it in later.
God
it's fine.
Damn it. Yeah, I'll throw it in later actually.
Yeah, just slap it all in. I don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
Like sparked something in my brain. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I remember a few years ago I got really, really into learning about this guy Aleister Crowley and the various like orders and stuff that he was in. to the extent that I went on a little bit of a YouTube rabbit hole and started looking up all of these rituals and shit that they do.
Fuck.
If you're anyway interested in it, there's some really cool shit on YouTube that you can find. They like teach you how to do it, and there's some like even theatrical performances, like the invocation of
Reenactments.
yeah, exactly. Like the invocation of the spirit Barzibel itself is a theater performance that you can go see in some places. It's really, really cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's very cool. It's very dark, and
It's super dark.
you probably get like, I don't know, people like you who just be interested in it, but you probably get the wrong kind of people there as well, who actually kind of want to learn something. They're like, I'm doing something wrong because it's not fucking working. I tried something, it's not working.
I keep
Let's go
trying
learn from
this,
the
but it's
professionals.
not working. Yeah, right.
Where's Barzibel?
But it's also quite cool because it ties into like the actual theatrical people who would have fucking no idea what the hell this is, going to watch this weird ritual and kind of getting interested in that side of things as well. Kind of brings a lot of different things together, which is something that this character, Aleister Crowley, was very, very into. I'll delve into him a bit, but throughout his whole life, he was very much slipping into different niches of society and getting very, very high up the social ladder, to the point that this guy who he was basically he wrote poems. That was his thing. He wrote poems and textbooks.
Nice.
And he managed to climb society enough to like rub shoulders with really famous artists, painters, sculptors, and like authors, some politicians as well. He's an interesting dude.
Given what he got into, so like cultist, and he would he be classed as was it an occultist?
Occultist.
Is that the actual type?
That was
title?
that was his main thing. Like people would know him as an occultist. So yeah, he's like one of the most famous English occultists in the 20th century Britain. He was also sorry. Yeah, go on.
I was just given like what he got into. Like you said, he wrote a lot of like textbooks and poetry.
Yes.
Did he have an ongoing theme in this poetry? Do you know? Like, was it all dark, or did he start off kind of normal and then he got pretty dark as he went on?
It's that's a good question actually, because it does change throughout of his life.
Yeah, I feel like he wouldn't climb the ladder so well if he started off immediately trying to summon some demon in his poems.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we'll take a little dive into that, and I'll stop at each point and kind of talk about how his poetry did change through that time, because it is actually really interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, just to start off with, this dude was he was born in 1875, as his given Christian name was Edward. And he was born to these really, really like strict Christian parents. And he was like kind of indoctrinated into the whole like Puritan kind of side of Christianity, where it's like, fucking if you get a boner, you're going to hell. You can't do it. Not allowed.
Can't do that, no.
So like picture that. That was his kind of upbringing.
Where was this?
It's in England somewhere. I don't know the actual space, but yeah, this is an English dude.
England, okay.
Yeah. And he, up until the age of 11, was really into this whole kind of like Puritan side of Christianity as well. Purely because, according to him, he really respected his father. His father was his great like person to look up to. Okay. And he saw his father doing all this and was like, fuck yeah, I'm in it too. Daddy cool, I'm cool with it.
That's pretty much like anything. Like if you're born into it, you don't know anything else until you kind of develop your own mind and opinions, which usually happens in the teenagers.
Exactly. But yeah, note I said up until 11. Can you guess what happened at age 11?
Well, I feel like 11's pretty young to be like exposed to something outside of a religion that you've been like drilled into you, but maybe like in school or something, you were shown something. Maybe
that's a good guess. But what actually happened was at age 11, his dad died.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this character who had been like raising him up like this, strict Christian or whatever, he was gone from his life after that point, and he was left with his mother. And at this point, he started to reject everything that he'd been taught up until that point, like, which kind of makes sense. Like, you know, kind of you'd be asking yourself all these questions, like, my dad was such a good guy, I've tried to live that way, why would he let this happen, that kind of crack.
Do you know how his dad died?
It was back in the day, so probably some form of sickness, to be honest.
Illness, yeah. Because like I know that's a big thing. Like, why would God allow this to happen to someone so devout to God, devout
that's the
to
word.
The religion, and why would that happen? So then, as 11-year-old, you're like, why the fuck am I following this? Then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Completely get it.
So at this age of 11, he went full like fedora wearing big brain atheist like Reddit type, and was just like yeah, he was just like going through all of these like things in the Bible, being like, this contradicts this section, and blah 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 blah. And he would tell this to his mom, and she
pure edgelord.
Yeah, he went pure edgelord on this. And as I was telling you, the whole like Puritan kind of faith thing was like very anti-sex and that kind of stuff. So as he grew older, he decided to completely invert that, and he would just be like fucking constantly masturbating, fucking everything that moved, buying prostitutes and shit like that.
God.
Yeah, up until the point that his mother, who was still this very devout Christian woman, nicknamed him the Beast.
Oh no.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of gross.
It is
Like,
kind of gross.
I understand that he was called the Beast because he's gone against the religion, but the way he's gone against the religion, in that he's just like, I'm just gonna fucking come everywhere.
I'm just gonna fucking like paint the house in my jizz, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking throw ropes everywhere. Smash my. It's gonna be red rock. Imagine going into. I can just imagine him being so fucking ahead that he's gonna like walk into the kitchen, looking his mother right in the eye as he's like. Yeah.
Oh man, no, that's not an image I want to have in my brain, but it's there.
Well, it's there now.
It's there, and I can't get rid of it. Oh fuck!
It's just because he went pure edgelord that he just wants to prove a point, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't care anymore.
He doesn't give
he's
a
walking
shit.
into that kitchen, looking everyone in the eye. Family gatherings doesn't matter. He's dropping trout and he's. Continue.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah. So his mom fucking nicknamed him the Beast, which is something that he latched on to. That he kind of took pride in this. So much
it's a pretty
so.
sick nickname, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So okay. So think about it, Jamie. You're a fucking fedora wearing Reddit edgelord atheist man, and your mom is just giving yourself the name the Beast. How do you make it more edgy? Like, he gives himself another name, but like he keeps the Beast, but adds a little bit on. What would you add on the
64.
end? Beastmaster 64.
Yeah, mate. Mr. Beast, maybe.
Mr. Breast.
Mr. Breast. Okay, if I wanted to rename myself on Reddit, what would it be involving Beast?
Yeah, but you're keeping the Beast and adding something at the end. So think Reddit username. Like, what would you put after the Beast if you were a Reddit user?
Well, it depends. If I want to be the Beast, I was thinking immediately the Beast Slayer, because that just sounds hard as fuck.
That's pretty metal, man.
The Beast Summoner.
Ooh, Summoner. That's good, thinking of what he's going to do later in his life.
Mm-hmm.
But what he decided to do,
foreshadow here.
Yeah, he like a Reddit user, he slapped a bunch of numbers at the end of it and called himself the Beast 666.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, that's way harder than anything I could have thought of. That's pretty metal, like.
Yeah, so this is a name that he like gave to himself, kind of like as his mom was giving it to him to be like, you horrible thing. He's like accepting it and like kind of using it himself.
Yeah. He didn't give no shits.
Didn't give no shits.
It was not just a phase.
Yeah, man. So after like his teenage years, at age 20, he enrolled in Cambridge, like the fucking one of the best universities in England. Still is as well. So like he is again starting to rise up in that social ladder. And on the surface, he seemed like the perfect, like, old-timey college student, very prim and proper, dresses well, talks well to people, kind of making friends in high places and things like that. But under the surface, been brought up well. He was brought up very well. Yeah. It was a big thing that he was brought up in a nice, well, quotes, nice place, and yeah, so that's what he would kind of look like to people on the surface. But you scratch a little bit deeper, and in his behind closed doors, he was oh man, was he getting into some explicit fucking. My boy was apparently getting onto the side of sadism and would just fuck anything that moves. Man, woman, doesn't care. Just gimme. That was his vibe.
I mean, college years, man.
College years, exactly.
He's just letting himself go. He's learning.
Yeah.
Finding himself.
And at
the word? Experimenting.
Experimenting, yeah. And at the same time, he was started to get into actual occult. It's called occult magic. And he just found some people and found some books and was just like, oh, this is kind of what I've been wanting to get into. This is kind of like the antithesis of Christianity and stuff like that. And yeah, and after he graduated is when he started to publish his poems. And at this time, his poems were like quite nice, but they also delved into the erotic. So he would like publish like
saucy
little writings to pay the bills.
Okay, yeah, it's crazy how like that was not normal, but like it was. No, it would have been fairly normal at the time to pay the bills by being a poet. Day. Like,
oh yeah, totally. And like,
yeah,
they didn't have fucking OnlyFans in the day. How else are you gonna pay the bills? Yeah, fucking erotica.
Mr. B666 would have done very well on OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. So that was when he started to get into his occult, like proper, like reading books and like talking to people about it. And in 1898, he met his first member of this organization called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Sounds pretty sick, right?
Love it. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So their whole thing was, it's actually really interesting. I would suggest, if you're interested at all, to look up the YouTube videos of some of their rituals. It's really weird. They mix so many religions together into one.
Okay.
So like they will be invoking like guardian angels to come to you and like use all this magic shit to like protect yourself and summon things. It's all madness, but it's really cool. But on the surface, their main thing is that they are an order that studies the occult and paranormal activity. Ooh.
Is this how you spell it? Just
let's see.
So I know to do it later.
That is it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Got it in one.
Nice.
But yeah, and he got inducted to these guys, which is kind of a cool system. They have like different tiers. So it's kind of like the do you know, like, what are they called? The Freemasons, where like you can only join if you know a member, and then you have to like go to these initiations to move up the tiers and stuff. So this is a very similar kind of organization.
Okay.
And yeah, so he got himself a live-in tutor from this organization so he could learn more about the magic and pass the tests that you need to go through to ascend up the tiers in the, like, again, like climbing up this social ladder that he's found himself in.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the same time, my boy discovered psychedelic drugs and normal drug, just kind of crazy shit. This man would take anything that you'd give him just to see what the fuck would happen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was
Why
the
not?
fucking. It wasn't even the 1900s yet. These things were like good for you back then.
That's the thing. Like, it's pretty much just him, not purposely going against everything that he was like brought up in. It's more that he's being curious. Like, he's like, why am I being told that this is bad? I'm gonna do it anyway.
Exactly.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Let's give it a fucking shot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that in the Bible tells you, yeah, bro, take a load of shrooms and summon Satan. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy's like, oh, I mean, maybe it will be good. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder for God as well, given what happened to his dad.
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
probably just has
There's
something.
probably something going on like that. Yeah. Excuse me. And yeah, he continued to fuck everything that walked during this period, and he believed that this what's the word, like delving into like the pleasures of the flesh, I guess is a way of putting it.
Okay.
He believed that to give him spiritual powers, and believed it to be cleansing, and would give him basically more occult and spiritual powers. So that was one of the reasons why he would like just fuck everything. He'd use it in his rituals and start to make like sex magic kind of things. So he'd have like sexy times while doing some of his like protection rituals and all this kind of crack. But the order of the Hermetic Dawn don't believe in that. That's not in their teachings whatsoever. So yeah.
I'm telling you, this man would have fucking killed on OnlyFans. 100%.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm telling
He's
you,
doing
if
some
OnlyFans,
like magical spells and stuff, but he's like, he brings some sexual things into it.
and he's
You're
just
gonna make a
fucking-
killing.
You're
Yeah.
gonna make an absolute killing, yeah. But alas, OnlyFans was not around in that time, and the people that
I
would have
know.
loved him to do this weren't there to back him up when the Golden Dawn said, "Yo, bro, fuck you. You can't do this anymore. You're out of our organization."
He was just born in the wrong era.
He's just born in the wrong era, man. Yeah.
So what happened? The Hermetics, the boyos didn't like him, so they're like,
Yes, there's actually a
Maybe not.
really fun story about this. So they didn't like what he was doing. He was like trying to summon all these weird things that they weren't okay with. He was fucking things in his rituals, and they were like, "Yeah, we've had enough. Fucking, you're out." Which led to an incident, a fucking hilarious incident, but it is a genuine historical incident, something that happened. It culminated in something called the Battle of Blythe Road.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, I'm excited. It's pretty sick name. When you say hilarious,
It is a
though,
pretty
is it, like,
sick
kind
name.
of dark. Do people die or something? in this?
I wouldn't call it dark. I think it's just fucking hell. I think it's the funniest shit ever.
Okay.
So Aleister Crowley gets kicked out of the order of the Hermetic Dawn, and he goes, "Right, no, I'm gonna go to these guys. I'm gonna go back to the like headquarters and kind of just like, I'm just gonna fight them. I'm just gonna like show them that my magic is better than their magic." So my boy fucking walks up to the headquarters, and it's up some stairs, and actually there's a quote. I'm gonna read you out. I'm just gonna read you flat out verbatim a quote. In Highlander's tartan, with a black crusader's cross on his breast, Crowley arrived at the Golden Dawn Temple in London, making the sign of the pentacle inverted and shouting menaces at the adepts. Crowley climbed the stairs. But Yeats, and 2 other white magicians came resolutely forward to meet him, ready to protect the holy place at any cost. When Crowley came within range, the forces of good struck out with their feet and kicked him down the stairs.
So he was
so good.
He was gonna go and fight these people with magic. I get that
with
right?
magic. Yeah. So just fucking picture this: a guy in like a fucking like, what are they called? Kilts, like coming up the stairs, like making these fucking mad signs with his fingers and like shouting out all of this magic
like,
shit at them. yeah, exactly. While the boys at the top of the stairs are doing the same thing, but like then are just like, "Hey, fuck this! Actually, doesn't work. Let's just kick him."
Yeah, he's about like foot level right now. Let's just kick him in the face and push him back down.
Yeah. And I don't know if you picked up,
amazing.
but I did say Yeats. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah,
William
I did.
Butler Yeats, the fucking famous poet. Yeah, that he was part of it, and he was there at the battle of the Blythe Road.
Blythe Road. Oh my God, Yeats, you madman! He was on the good side, though, right?
He was on the good side. Yeah, he was on the forces of white magic versus the forces of black magic.
So was he on his own? Fucking Aleister.
He just I am like, I don't know if this is true, but I imagine him just fucking taking a bunch of drugs before this and being like, I can fucking shoot fireballs out of my fingers.
Yeah, I can summon some shit and fight these bastards who kicked me out of their club.
Yeah, exactly. And then just gets yeeted down the stairs. Like, that's the fucking funniest image to me ever.
Yeah, see, I'm just imagining like he got into like some building and it's like a narrow staircase. It's probably the stairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing
but I'm
as
imagining
well.
this narrow staircase where one person could maybe fit.
Yeah,
just like crawling up like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. That's an actual. Is there a Wikipedia page for this whole battle?
I'm not sure if there's a Wikipedia page, but if you type in the Battle of Blythe Road, you'll find loads of websites that are talking about it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, it's just so funny that they give it the name The Battle. Like, it's brilliant. Just ends up with one lad getting yeeted down the stairs. Like,
yeah, the first thing here is like WW Yeats.
Yeah, exactly. It's like him, the 2 lads facing off each other.
That's amazing. That's something you don't learn about in school, about W.B. Yeats.
Right, I have thought that as well. When I found out that he was in he was really into occult stuff. Just as a side note, by the way, he was like part of all of these ordos as well.
Oh shit!
Really, really into it. So were lots of famous Irish like historical figures, like Yeats for one. Then Bram Stoker was also a member of the.
I can see
order.
that, yeah.
And so was Maud Gonne, the Irish revolutionary, who was with Yeats for a time. Yeah, there's a bunch of the boys were just like, hey, you know, this magic's fucking real, bro. Let's do it. This is fine.
It seemed to be a big thing among the literary community, I guess.
Yeah, like, exactly.
People into their poetry and texts and all that. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because they're technically historians in a way. Like, they're looking. I don't know. They just write about what they believe in.
I think it's just people with too much money, to be honest. Like, back in the day, you can't just fucking like, oh yeah, I just write poems and it's fine. Like, you have to be from wealth.
Yeah, true. Actually, you need to be a certain standard of society, or like at a certain class of society to be acknowledged as a poet at those times. Like,
yeah.
But
so,
what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like we've done case studies in school for our like exams and stuff about W.B. Yeats. And we've never been fucking told any of this shit.
We've never told that.
Amazing.
If someone told me that, like back in school, I'd be like, he's my fucking favorite guy. I'm gonna learn
he's
so
my
much
idol.
about him and read his poems. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If someone told me like that whole Battle of Blythe Road happened, like when I was like 16, I'd be like, fuck, I would have done so much better on my exams.
Yeah. Sort of edgelords on a staircase fucking firing magic at each other.
Yeah, I love the picture of them going pew pew. Like, I hope that's what happened. That would have been so good.
It's all these rich people from a higher class as well. It's so good.
Yeah, right? Oh, brilliant. Anyway, after that whole thing, so obviously he lost the battle and he was kicked out of the order, and he was like,
Heroically.
Right, heroically, yeah. It was a heroic defeat, but it's yeah. So after that, he kind of went traveling again. That's a big thing. Like I've cut out lots of sections where he just goes traveling. He was a big mountaineering person, so he'd like travel the world, like climbing mountains and stuff. He was one of the first people. He was actually on the first expedition to climb the mountain K2. Have you heard of that? The K2
Oh,
expedition.
yeah.
He was like on the first expedition to do that. Yeah, went around traveling, getting to know people, stuff like that. Always climbing, you know. But the next important thing to happen for him, which is really important, is he moves to Paris in 1902 and gets himself immersed in the art world. So like he got to know all of these famous sculptors and like painters and stuff like that. And through meeting all these people, he met a woman who would be insanely pivotal in this man's life, named Rose Kelly. And she was, yeah, right. She was basically the nucleus of where this man's new religion would form. So these guys fell madly in love, went fucking traveling the world again. Before
that's what money can
settled do. Yeah, right. They settled in Cairo in 1904. And I don't know if they were like, again, just on a bunch of drugs, but they told everyone that they were a prince and a princess, so so that they could get a really, really fancy apartment, like top end shit. And they stayed in this apartment for a long time doing more rituals, and they spent days upon days trying to evoke ancient Egyptian deities like Horus and all Ra and all those boys. Up until Rose started to get these messages back, is I think the best way to put it. So during their rituals, she would like stop and turn to Aleister and be like, "They are waiting for you," and then like tell him all these messages, like really cryptic messages and stuff like that. Until one day, during one of their rituals to invoke some of these Egyptian gods, Rose leaves the apartment just like without any explanation, just sprints out of the apartment, and Aleister follows her naturally, running after, being like, "What the fuck is happening?" And she leads him to like a nearby museum, and stops in front of an artifact, and she is like showing this artifact to Aleister, and it's called a stele. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's some ancient Egyptian artifact named a stele. And Aleister noticed that the museum ID tag of this stele. Can you guess what the number is going to be, Jamie?
Oh, nice 666 maybe.
Oh, it's 666. You know it is. You know what it is. Yeah, yeah. Sheesh. So he finds this, and he names the artifact the Stele of Revealing, and this is like when he's like, "Oh shit, they are trying to talk to me. They're trying to get through to me." So he does this big invocation ritual, like a few days later. And for nonstop 3 days doing this ritual, he's almost like possessed, basically, by this. He says by this ancient Egyptian deity called Aiwas, Aiwass. I think it's pronounced Aiwas. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Which is the I'm gonna just use it for like words that you'll understand. It's basically like the Eye of Sauron, but for Horus. The god Horus.
Okay.
Did you get it?
So he's like a
messenger or something.
Or like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So this messenger of Horus that speaks with his words basically takes over Aleister's body and starts speaking through him. So Aleister goes and gets a pen and paper and just starts writing nonstop for 3 days, just nonstop writing, until 3 days later.
I'd love to know what language he wrote in.
I think it's English.
Because this would have been an Egyptian deity,
Egyptian,
right?
Definitely. Yes. Pretty sure it's in English.
Plot hole right there.
There is a way worse plot hole coming up. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay. I'll hold off.
So yeah, he writes this for 3 days in a book until he's left with a full book called what's it called? He called it the Book of the Law, and he used this book as like the cornerstone of his new religion, which he called Thelema, which kind of, again, takes in from all of these different religions like Christianity and like ancient Egypt and like Mesopotamian gods and stuff like that, all fucked together to make some crazy shit go on. It's nuts. But yeah, the main tenet of this religion is do as thou wilt, that is the law, which basically means sin isn't a thing. Go insane.
Oh, okay. Do as you please.
Yeah, basically. That's like the main tenet.
Okay.
For this religion is just fucking go nuts. It's fine. Don't hold back.
I'd say a lot of people will probably take that to the extreme a wee bit.
Too literally and extreme, yeah, of course. But herein lies the plot hole, Jamie.
Okay.
Do you remember when I said that it's like taking all of these aspects from different religions and stuff like that? It's all about invoking things and whatever. What does that sound like?
Taking
what previous religion have we seen that did the same thing?
Oh, wait, hang on. Takes little bits from each religion?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'm blanking now. It's hardly... well, earlier on, something came to mind. But it was only because you were talking about like how you get into this religion, and it's like you need to know someone, and then you go through a whole process. Yeah. My Scientology just came to mind for some reason.
No, it's not Scientology. That wasn't around for another 50 years or something. Yeah. But the writings and the teachings of this new book that a god had essentially given him was very, very similar to the teachings of the Golden Dawn.
Oh.
So...
Okay.
Yeah, so take what you will from that. It's definitely not just he went on a big drug trip and just wrote all the stuff that he remembered and thought that it was new. And that didn't happen. That's not a thing.
He sort of just rewrote.
Yes, yeah,
what's
basically.
The word when you copy the works, like copy and paste?
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, can I copy your homework? Okay, but make sure you don't copy it the same so the teacher
Plagiarism.
Knows. Plagiarism, that's it. Yeah.
So he just sort of like went on this journey around the earth, and then in Egypt he decided to try and rewrite a lot of the Golden Dawn stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe he just thought
basically
their order hadn't reached this part of the world, so he would be the big balls then around this part of the world.
Yeah, maybe. But so I won't say that he stayed in that part of the world, but next what he did was he had some family troubles. He had some kids. One of his daughters died of some sickness. I think it was typhoid is what she died of. And this spiraled his wife Rose into a deep depression and insanity until in 1911, I think it was, she was sent to an institution. She was institutionalized for just being insane, which left him kind of open to do whatever he wanted. Now he still had kids. I don't know what happened there. I think he may have traveled with them or something. But
if it was a fuck machine, of course he has kids everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. He absolutely had loads of illegitimate children all over the world. Like that's a known thing.
He was spreading his teachings and his seed all at the same time.
Jesus. And also, I'm just going to tag it on here because I don't really know the specifics. But as he was touring around the world and stuff, some people think he was a British spy. That he was like going to these places to like find out shit about people in the upper class and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know anything about. It's just that like I have heard that so many times that people are like, actually, did you know that he was actually just the greatest spy that's ever lived? And I'm like, what?
Oh shit.
It's a bit nuts. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit out there, all right.
'Tis. But what is out there is the next thing that happened. He moves in 1920 to Sicily, to a small village in Sicily. And he buys an apartment. It's not an apartment, it's a villa. And he names it the Abbey of Thelema. So Thelema is the new religion that he's created.
Yeah.
And he buys this villa to live in and calls it the Abbey of Thelema. And he initiates people like to come join him and live in this big villa. And the locals became very quickly terrified of what was going on in this villa. They would recount tales of horrible shrieks, of seeing apparitions and like dark shapes and things speaking with inhuman voices, fires and stuff coming from within this villa. So basically, Aleister would get all these people inducted into Thelema, do all of his crazy mad sex magic within here. There's a really cool YouTube video that you can watch where they go through the villa. It's still there and it hasn't really been touched. And there's all of these like occult paintings still on the wall and like splashes of like what could be blood or paint. It's probably just paint. But yeah, all this mad shit all over the walls. And yeah, he lived there for a few years until a Britishman who had been visiting. I don't know the specifics, but he died, and it was during a ritual that was involving cat's blood. And during this ritual, anyway, this visitor, he died.
Okay.
Which led the fascist Mussolini government at the time to be like, oh, fuck no. Get out of my country. No. We do some weird shit here, but that's a bit much.
You kind of went over the line there.
Yeah. So this is a dude that fucking got yeeted out of a country by Mussolini. Like
he's just adding another accolade to his fucking
trophy
room kind of thing.
Yeah. So after
I'm guessing
after
the dude
that,
was sacrificed.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know because like it all it says is involving cat's blood. Like, did he drink the cat's blood and then fucking die or something? I don't know, but it was a ritualistic thing.
Yeah, or maybe he died by mistake. He was like poisoned or something. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's a cool thing to look up afterwards. The videos are sick.
So he lost the Abbey of
Thelema.
Thelema.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
And yeah, after that, there was some traveling. He rubbed shoulders with some more writers, like, do you know Roald Dahl and Ian Fleming, the guy who wrote James Bond? They were best bros.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey. Yeah, so it just seems to be a thing that all of these famous people were somewhat interested in the occult.
Hang on. Ian Fleming. Hang on, I'm throwing this out here. Just piecing things together. I'm doing my old little thread on the corkboard type
Your
thing.
red thread, yeah.
Ian Fleming wrote James Bond. Maybe
he did.
The books are based
on
our
my
boy
god.
Aleister.
Oh my
British
fucking
spy,
god.
Fuck machine. I mean,
yeah,
it's not that far out there.
It's not that far out there. Yeah. Oh, I like that theory. Holy shit, that's great.
He would just blown the case wide open.
Man, I would watch James Bond if he did fucking like ritual sacrifice. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That'd add a nice little lemon zest on the top of a story.
That's the part they don't include in the movies. I think they maybe Alistair told Fleming all these stories of him traveling the world and like meeting people and all this shit. But then he told him about the occult stuff, and Fleming's like, I like all of it except for the occult stuff.
Yeah, I can't market that. And the the bits where you like fuck people for magic. Yeah, we're not going to do that. But everything else though.
No, you can just fuck them normally, maybe, but not for magic.
He's like, no, you can't. You cannot fuck for Barzibel, but oh boy, can you fuck for the Queen?
Fuck the name of the Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's
possible.
I like your theory. I think that's fucking great. I didn't piece that together, but I like it. Yeah. I definitely like it.
Light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Right. How did he die? Did he go back to England after getting kicked out?
Yeah, he travelled again fucking for so long and then went back to England. There was a period where he lived in a little cottage off Loch Ness and was again, would you believe, trying to summon some horrific demon. And the locals said the same shit about hearing all of these like screams and like apparitions and things. But he failed. He outright says, yeah, it just didn't fucking work. But
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then just went traveling, did all of his shit, took loads of drugs.
What kind of drugs was he doing? Was it like opium or something?
I think it was.
Shit
like
was around back then.
Old. He was like a heroin addict.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Because I know.
Yeah.
Like opiates were a big thing around the time of World War One. Anyway, I know that much.
Yes. Yeah.
And then afterwards as well, but he was obviously just before that, so.
Yeah. It was by the end of his life, he was like a riddled fucking heroin addict, like.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
And he kind of lost some of that social standing over time, and he died in 1972, where they had a black mass for him. His funeral was again trying to invoke spirits, then the same kind of thelemic stuff that he was into. That's what they did it, but despite influencing so many people and writing all of these like vastly read like poems and books and things like that, there was only a handful of people at his funeral, some of his like very, very closest friends. So yeah, I think he died a little bit sadly after such an interesting life. I think he was beginning to be getting forgotten by most people.
He was pretty old when he died. You said 70s something?
He was really old. Yeah, he was nearly 100.
I can't remember what year was he born. Yeah, Jesus. Fuck.
I think he was 97. No, he's not 97. So he was 1875 and he died in 1972. That is 97.
Jesus, that's not bad for a heroin addict.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe my dates are wrong. As I said, somewhat accurate. Don't fucking hold me to this. Just do your own goddamn research. But yeah, that's what I've written. There you go.
Jesus, it is a bit of a sad ending. Because he did some like, he was just curious.
He
did some fucked up
boy. Shit. Yeah.
But I don't think he didn't ever do anything that caused a lot of harm. Like he wasn't trying to like summon Satan. Well, I don't know. Does it say why he was trying to summon like these demons? Did he want to destroy the world or something, or was it just to see if it worked?
His goal was to be the most evil man on the planet, apparently.
Okay. But he never outright murdered anyone, did he?
Not to the best of my knowledge, other than the Catman. Yeah.
Catman, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit questionable, but I like, unless he has a trail of bodies around the world.
There might be a trail of bodies. I mean, like, yeah, it could easily be.
It's just weird that he wasn't investigated too much. Well, maybe he was, but none was ever found. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? That's I think that's something that's lost to time at this point. He's maybe gone. Mussolini, we can't ask him now. But yeah, there you go, Jamie. I've introduced you to a new interesting historical figure, again on the lines of cultism and stuff. What do you make of him?
I've always found like occultism and cults in general such as very fascinating. Like I love I haven't gotten too much I don't know a lot about him, but Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah.
And like the Call of Cthulhu.
I've lent you some of his books before.
I think you have, yes, and I still have one that I'm reading through. It's like a collection of his short stories.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it's called. It's something fear. I have it inside, but
yeah,
they're just short, couple pages stories, and man, they're so hard to read sometimes. Like texts back then were so hard to read just because of the language they used.
The language they use is so fuckwise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so heavy. It's pretty difficult to like concentrate on it properly.
Yeah, totally.
And that's why I haven't actually read through the whole book. I've only gotten a few short stories, but they're like when he gets into his cult stuff.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Lovecraft gets into some spiritual stuff and like some weird monsters and stuff, and you're just like, oh shit, okay. This guy, he obviously was doing it as fiction, but something was going on with him.
Something was going on in his brain, yeah.
But this guy, Aleister, he's just like an idol, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Occultist idol.
Like I just love how he went against his religion. Okay, that's fair enough. He felt cheated by God. He felt cheated by the Christianity.
Yeah.
But then to go against your mother and to make a point, you start fucking everything that moves. You start masturbating all the time. Who does that? That's
Absolute
amazing.
Chads is who does that.
Absolute Chads, yeah. I can't get it out of my head that he's walking in making eye contact with people as he's doing it. Just because he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I hate you. I hate this religion.
Yeah, he barges into the room, jerking himself off, screaming, "I hate you, Mom!"
Running around the house at full speed, naked.
Oh Christ!
That was very interesting, though.
Yeah,
I can't believe I've never even heard of him. To be honest,
I'm quite surprised you haven't. Have you watched the TV series Good Omens?
No.
Okay. There is a character in that named after Aleister Crowley. He's a demon. Yeah. And he takes his name after Aleister Crowley. It's a really good TV show.
Good Omens.
It's about like the end of the world. There's a demon and an angel who are best friends, and they've like been best friends throughout the whole of the Earth's history, basically. And then in this, I think it was sometime anyway, the Antichrist is born, and the whole thing is that the good guy angel is supposed to like stop him, and then the devil is supposed to like bring him up prim and proper so that the end of the world can happen and stuff. And they get into some funny hee-hoos. It's quite funny, actually. It's really good.
It's David Tennant. I actually really like it.
Yeah. I would recommend. Very good show.
John Hamm. I didn't. Yeah, this is fairly new. Yeah, 2019. That's pretty cool.
'Tis good. Would recommend.
I'll have to check it out. So.
Yes.
We could end it there, or I do have a wee article that we could. It's not like a read through. It's literally just 18 points, or I can save it for next time.
What are we at? We're at 103. It's up to you, man. You're the one who's going to be editing this. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, I don't think we need a palate cleanser, to be honest, because it wasn't that heavy of a topic.
It wasn't,
so I think
no.
I'll hold on to this article for next time.
Nice one. I'm intrigued. I'm going to look forward to that for next week.
Don't.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not that exciting. It's just I found it today and thought it'd be kind of interesting to go through, but it can be done anytime, really.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we'll go back to your riddle, which I'm still completely stumped by, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We represent different things, but together tell you the same thing. Lap after lap, around and around. Sometimes we stop, but you help us continue. Man. Oh, God. And you said that I had kind of gotten close with record spinning around. So it was like music, spinning, record, something there.
Something there.
There's something there. We represent.
It's just because you latched onto the lap after lap, around and around.
Yeah. Oh, but together tell you the same thing. Is it... This is weird, but is it language?
No. Fuck. It's a physical thing.
Oh, it's a physical thing?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it the microwave plate that spins around when you're microwaving and stuff?
I'll give you another... I'm going to point this out.
As a no.
That's a strong no there. I didn't even acknowledge that answer. keep emphasis on the we at the start.
We represent different things. So we, something that spins around. Oh, Christ. We represent different things. Oh, man, I don't know.
I say the first two lines are probably the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those two that you should be like really...
Hands on a clock.
Yes!
Oh, fuck yeah! Fuck yes!
Hell yeah!
There
Nice.
we go. Oh my god, I got one. I'm so proud of myself.
I like how it clicked. I like that. Nice.
Oh, fuck you. That's fantastic.
I'm happy you got it because I feel like it was going to be a case that I told you, you'd be like, oh, fuck off, really?
No. That one, that's great. Like, I got it. It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Well done.
So that means that I did a good job of making it.
You did a great job.
And you did a great job of fucking figuring it out.
Yay, go me.
I'll fucking sprinkle in some claps there, don't worry.
That's the crowd
just
going
for
wild.
you.
Yeah.
That's what the last line pissed me off. Even though I wrote it, I was like, I don't know whether I should keep that in or not.
Oh, really?
Because you help us continue just means, you're replacing the batteries.
I got that. I totally got it. You help us continue. Yeah. So, because sometimes we stop and then you have to get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Nice
Hell
one.
yeah.
Hey.
Nice.
All right. Well, Jamie, that was a fun one. I have to say, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'm very much so enjoying the ones that we just sort of fucking throw together on the day.
Yeah, man.
And then I need to write more riddles now because I'm all out.
You're
Those
all
are the
out.
3 from the plane like a month or 2 ago. I now have to write more.
You've shot your shots, and now you need more. Need a refill.
Yeah. A refill. Refill the tank.
Right,
Unlike
nice
fucking Aleister because he came everywhere. Alright, and end the recording.
Nice. Okay.